Hi everyone. Good morning to all of those who survived yesterday. I'm really thrilled you're here. And this morning we'd like to describe and discuss the topic of data privacy and artificial intelligence in e-commerce. This is really a trendy topic right now in terms of artificial intelligence, and even though we have so many topics even at this event, it just confirms that it's really relevant and it should be discussed. So I was actually introduced, but just a quick introduction in terms of what my passion is. And sorry, it doesn't seem to work. Oh, no, it's working. Yeah. So as mentioned, I'm Victoria Yaschuk, and I'm a project manager at Atwix. My main passion is making sure that the customer experience is getting improved, and I'm just looking forward to looking for some possible ways to get it better. And this particular topic was really interesting to me, so I decided to dig into it, and this is just to walk you through what we will be discussing today. So first of all, this is kind of like an investigation, and we will walk through from the customer expectations to some possible ways to address them, also the possible issues which may come up with usage of artificial intelligence and also gathering like a lot of data. And finally, we will discover and cover some possible ways to how to protect Magento store and make sure that if you use such solutions, you will be using them, well, not for the benefit, not for worse. And first of all, as for customers' expectations, my first part was actually to understand like what are the main reasons customers are willing to share like their data online, in what cases. Because right now, to make sure like that we have those solutions, we need a lot of data. And I found this interesting study in Web Index. First of all, like there's information that customers are willing to share the data, well, if they trust the company. And that's obvious from one reason, but overall the trust is really easy to lose. Then we also have some people who are motivated to share their data online if they have ability to look at this data, if they are like aware of the information, how this data is used. So we have like the awareness aspect. Another one is also that if it's made clear how the data is processed. So once again, raising awareness for your clients. What else? Of course, there's important to have some like bonuses and discounts, perks. So, and customers are kind of expecting it when they are sharing their data online, that they will receive something in return. Of course, they have like an online account, or if there is an ability to remember some information and ease up. That's totally about me, because for example, I usually save some information just to simplify like further interactions with the websites. And of course, if this personal data gave some like personalized experience for the customer, that's just a bonus and that's a plus. This is what our customers are expecting from us. And well, my next step was to understand, okay, how we can achieve it and how we can actually address those expectations. So one of the ways is actually use artificial intelligence. So yeah, here. And artificial intelligence, in one of Magento seminars, I've seen really nice quote that artificial intelligence is not a solution. It's basically just enabling technology for humans to do their job better. And right now, it's really what I'm believing for, because several times it was noted that artificial intelligence is not something to replace human, but more like help them. And basically, the second part will be to go over possibilities which artificial intelligence can get, and once again, how we can address those customers' expectations we just reviewed. I'm sorry, I just have some technical issues here. Could you please skip 2 slides? Yeah, next one. Yeah, thank you. So first benefits is definitely personalization, and we can see that from customers' expectation, customers are really expecting us to give this one-on-one treatment and make sure that we curate the content, curate emails, curate our product recommendations based on the customer's need. And thus, we have this artificial intelligence which may be helpful. I found a couple of solutions online, and we may actually see them here. So the first one is definitely really great news from Magento, AI-based product recommendations. And yeah, I was really thrilled to hear about it at Magento Imagine, and looking forward to get it in touch, make sure, like, basically check it out, how it works. But that's really great that it will be possible to have it by default, like in Magento eCommerce, and also SaaS for Magento open source. So that's a really great opportunity for the customers. And of course, there are different third-party extensions which are adding similar experience to the, for the merchants, and gives the possibility to curate your content based on your customers' preferences and their behavior. Personalization aspect is one, but we also have like Nasta, and we also have different like solutions such as Chloe AI and other Woo. For example, Woo AI is for personalization and styling specifically for fashion retailers. So there are some solutions out there, but I'm really waiting for what we will see in Magento specifically. The second benefit of using artificial intelligence in Magento is for basically sales forecasting. And the big plus of using AI is ability to gather and analyze a vast amount of data. And basically efficiency of this is that you will reduce human work, and we will use it for like more fast updates and sometimes really curious results. I know that when some supermarket was using artificial intelligence for deciding like where to place the different products, they were actually receiving results when like the diapers should be put near to beer, and it was really strange from first time, but eventually it actually grows sales, and as a result, like the most profitable group was young parents, which were going there for need and then getting something for pleasure. So that's also kind of an example of possibilities and possible choices which AI may recommend you and might not be your first choice in the beginning. We have a couple of solutions available here, and we have Salesforce, which is possible to integrate with Magento, and it's using Sales Einstein, which helps you with reports and also sales forecasting. And I was actually finding some information about Adobe Analytics, and looking forward to see more about it, whether it will be possible to use Adobe Sensei for its purpose for like sales forecasting and also helping with marketing. The third benefits of using AI in e-commerce will be safety measurements, safety measures. And here we have, like, one of my concerns was actually data privacy aspect, but artificial intelligence can actually help with preventing fraudulent attacks, and can also analyze different transactions and identify some possible threats to the store. I have a couple of solutions found there too, and we have here Count, and we also have NSA 8 here, and basically those solutions are powered by artificial intelligence. They can also be integrated with Magento Store, and if needed, using AI for analyzing your transactions and preventing fraud. Of course, if we are speaking about artificial intelligence, there are a lot of possibilities in terms of communications too. And the next part is it's really hard to be online 24/7. And basically, if you like to answer all of the questions from the client, to make sure that they are aware of it, you may need some help, and this artificial intelligence may help you with it. So the next benefit of using AI is basically communication aspect. And I'm really behind with those slides, I'm sorry. Oh, here, yeah. We can go to solutions. I guess I will go over to you because it's really not working. I'm really sorry, guys. Yeah. So if we are speaking about communication, the main aspect is that artificial intelligence can not only answer like some typical questions from your clients, but the great aspect is that it can actually ask some questions too. This way, it will be kind of like virtual assistant and helper, making sure that your customers are guided through the process of buying some products. And we're also getting back to personalization aspect of our store. So basically, they will receive this personalized experience. If you are speaking about solutions, Well, we also have a couple of solutions here. We have different chatbots from Webpool, Chloe AI. As it mentioned here, it's more like virtual assistants. And I found interesting submission from Creativity to Magento Innovation Lab about the integration with Amazon Lex. So this is also an example about like possibilities to work with different helper like Siri or Alexa or any other else. So it's really interesting to see what's going to be out there next. The next benefit will be, well, basically, if we are speaking about search, it will be search, and it's not only search as we say, just like keywords, it's a different type of search. It can be like voice search, it can also be image search, and once again, it's really more about natural language processing and just understanding your clients better and speaking their language. And basically, if we are speaking about search, we will go, I'm sorry. Yeah. We can go to solutions. Yeah, and if we're speaking about search, there are a couple of extensions available for Magento, which are adding a possibility to have voice search in Magento store, which is Clavo and Algolia. And there's also a possibility, like one of the submissions there, it's NetStarter submitted image search to Magento. And I'm not sure about like what's the progress. Yeah, you can go forward. Maybe I should try it again. Sorry, yeah, it looks like it's working again. Well, so there are different possibilities in terms of search for AI, and there's options having really great channels for your clients to make sure that your clients will find the product that he's looking for in different ways. And the one thing we have in common here, except that we love Magento, we have phones. So basically, we are taking picture every day, and if we have image search, that will be really, really helpful. As a result of having like those different technologies, solutions, which are powered by AI, they also need data to work with, and they need a lot of data. And having set many like technologies with AI actually made data being the world's most valuable asset basically in the world. And it's suppressed oil. This quote is from Brittany Kaiser, and she's former Cambridge Analytica employee. And I've heard this one when I was watching this documentary, which is called The Great Hack. Yeah, and this is a Netflix documentary which was released this summer, and it describes the events from last year when there was a scandal of Facebook and Cambridge Analytica data breach, and where a lot of data of customers were used, and specifically used just from a simple quiz, and where customers were informed that their details may be stolen, but basically nobody read the terms and conditions and privacy policy, and nobody were aware of its spoilers. Another great thing here is I understood that we definitely need to like raise awareness and make sure that we read those privacy policies and terms and conditions. I'm not sure if it was popular here. It was really popular in Europe, this Face app. Who else got old during the summer? Yeah. Same, and the trick with this one, if you read the terms and conditions and privacy policy for this app, you would understand. So basically, you are sharing all of your images with this app. And the interesting part here is that they may use it for any purposes, for like publishing in somewhere, basically use it for marketing, for ads, without your additional consent. And this was all described in terms and conditions, but never, like, nobody read it, at least until like there was an article at Times and describing this issue, and then afterwards everybody was really alarmed. So that's an example when sometimes data can be exploited, and sometimes the client may fear the shared data and will not be able to share it with you. So what else customers might fear? Of course, they will be their fear of data breaches and some possible threats to your store, and especially when they are sharing this information, really personal information with you, they would expect it to protect it. And if we are speaking about data breaches, it's not only like some misusage. It's also different problems which may be, there are different ways of exploiting data. So of course there might be like internal misuse, there might be governmental use, there might be some outside breach, and there are actually a lot of possibility to exploit your data. I would definitely recommend to watch the documentary and just look into possible ways, just to be aware of it and make sure that you are, like, you know, what might happen. We are speaking about different profiling, identification of the customers, also financial threats, and there might be revealing of embarrassing information. Once again, remembering about Face app where you're sharing everything on your phone. This is really tricky. So having this and the world we are living right now is definitely important to be alarmed. And I do feel and strongly believe that protection of data is a human fundamental right, just like any others. And what I mean by that is basically each person should be able to rectify his own data. He should be able to access his own data at any possible time. He also should be able to, he should have the ability to be forgotten. So basically, if you delete your account, you know that it's gone forever, and there is nothing, like no traces of you. And in case of like Facebook and Cambridge Analytica, there was case that they haven't deleted this information. You also have a right to object to processing your information once again, and you also have a right to use your data for your own purposes and your own needs. This is a fundamental right of each person, and except that, they're also protected by government, by laws, and we all know about GDPR. But what else? Well, if we check on the next slide, yeah, there is different data protection laws in almost every country right now, and as a result of such changing climates and making sure that we protect data, we have California Act. We also have one more in Ukraine, where I'm from, and UK Data Protection Act. So basically, almost like there are a lot more, of course, and you need to make sure that if you're if you're working with some of those countries, you need to know their data protection laws and make sure they comply. And not only that you are living there, but also that you have a business with. And we check, here we actually can see the example from Economic Times website, and this example how you may inform your clients if you have like some changes in privacy, or you may also inform about how you use your data. You can see here that it's basically informing the client that it will expire in 1 year. So once again, you need to know for how long it will be there and processing. And also there is a detailed information about like the need for this data, why it's being processed, and what's the main purpose. And finally, once we have like these data protection laws, and our understanding that it's really important to make sure that the customer's data is protected, we need to do something with it. And the final section of the presentation will be more about how to protect the store. And I want you to start with these these simple questions, and that might help you to understand where you're at. Basically, you need to know, what personal data are you processing? And you also need to know, where is the data stored? Finally, you also need to know, do you need all of the data you are processing and gathering? Because sometimes, no. Sometimes the answer may be that you just get in it and you are not using it. And finally, you also need to know which third parties and agencies have the access to that data. But having answered these questions is just top of the iceberg. Because basically, once you identify and review what data you are using, you also need to make sure that you review your website privacy policy, make sure that it's concise, and it's actually to comply with data protection laws. You need to make sure that it's really clear and understandable, because sometimes it's really hard to make sense of it. You also need to check your systems and have risk check, make sure that, basically your business is ready in case anything happens, and you need to be prepared beforehand. Except that, you also need to train your team. Because one of the problem here, and it's one of the problem with data, is some internal misuses. And it's really important to know who is responsible for what. Basically, you also need to train your team to be ready for possible issues and possible problems. You also need to identify responsibilities. So if your data is stored on hosting provider or maybe technology provider, make sure you got it covered and you talked through all of the possible scenarios that might happen. And finally, I cannot stress enough, but make sure your software is updated. And this is not like only about Magento Store, it's about different extensions, because usually it's not something which is the first priority for some merchants and for some partners. I'm not sure why, because right now, especially as we have open source, like where all vulnerabilities are known, this is really, really tricky business. And to summarize just the whole presentation, the climate is changing, and considering that we have so many interesting services, which are giving personalized experience and really unique experience to our customers. Customers expect more from e-commerce too. They expect us to raise the bar and be up to standard. They also, artificial intelligence can be of help, but it's once again, it's enabling technology. It's not replacing you. It may help you, but you just need to know and to work with it correctly. It's vital to have the right data and to make sure that your data is protected. This is a final note which I would like to leave here, because really the data protection should be a key for every company, and I hope that this information was helpful for you to understand where you're at and maybe have some guidance for your company and stores. Thank you. Any questions? Do you mean extensions over there? Oh, I don't have examples, honestly, but I have we are using a couple of solutions for safety measurements on our clients, such as Count, for example, which is using artificial intelligence for preventing fraud. Yeah, basically, and a couple of chatbots which are powered by AI. That I don't have examples here, unfortunately. Yeah.
Thank you. Do we have any other questions? No? All right. Well, thank you so much, Victoria.
Thank you.
Great talk.